Good morning. Everybody say good morning.
Morning.
All right.
Quadratics by solving.
Yeah, that was like the dumbest objective I've ever heard in my life. To solve quadratics by solving.
Yeah.
Doesn't even make any sense. Anybody know what word really goes there?
Factor.
Factor.
I was gonna say that.
Good. You guys are good.
Did
We're
that
gonna-
one for you get that?
We're gonna solve quadratics by factoring, and this is the only way that you guys need to know how to solve quadratics for the placement test. After the placement test, we do chapter 9, and guess what chapter 9 is called?
Quadratics.
Quadratics. And there's like 5 different ways to solve quadratics.
Wiggle ball.
Paul stuff for me.
Yeah, really bad. Paul stuffed Alex bad.
I hate when people say that.
I said nice hair. You kind of looked at me weird. Okay. We're going to solve quadratics by factoring. It's the only way we need to know how to solve before the placement test. But after the placement test, when we do chapter 9, you're going to solve quadratics by graphing, a little bit by factoring, completing the square, and then the end-all, be-all of Algebra 1, the quadratic formula. Dun, dun, dun. So I can't believe they wait till like after the placement test to teach you the most important thing in Algebra 1. It's the dumbest thing I ever heard
What
of.
is it? The quadratic formula?
Remember that stupid shirt I had on last week?
Oh, we have to learn that?
That was the quadratic
We have to
formula.
memorize it?
X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac
All
all
over
over 2a.
8x equals
75
squared to the quadratic.
You not only have to memorize the
equal.
quadratic formula, you have to take the quadratic equation and solve it for x to get the quadratic formula.
Wait, gross.
It
Is
takes
there a
about one
4?
sheet of paper.
Is there a 4 in the quadratic formula?
It takes about one sheet of paper.
We don't have to do that.
Yes, you have to do that on quiz.
Tell me, just tell me.
Hey, Mr. Pancini.
Yes, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Nicholas DeVito to the office for a moment, please.
Who?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ooh.
Nico.
I know what that's about. He has a orthodontist appointment. No.
Yeah, good idea.
Sound good?
All right, here we go.
His face
A trinomial of in the form ax squared plus bx plus c is called a
Quadratic.
quadratic
Bang.
when x is squared. And that's the highest degree. We're talking quadratics. Very important. Ooh, do you guys remember what a quadratic graphs?
Parabola.
Doesn't drive a line.
Parabola.
A parabola, or what kind of shape is it, Henry? A U. And it is, the technical name is called a parabola.
I said it.
Okay? If x is not squared, okay, that's linear, and that graph's a nice line. All of a sudden we start squaring x, we get a U shape, and it's called a parabola. What if x is cubed?
S. It's like a little screw you. It's like an S. Yeah. Yeah, but.
And that's, guess what that thing's called? A cubic.
Double.
What if it's Ford?
I think it adds one more.
Ford? What's his
Look, it adds one more to it. Every time you put an extra exponent, the degree goes up one. It adds one more curve into that shape.
Double parabola. Is
Okay.
a cubic.
So we'll get there when we get there. Now, today you're going to learn why you had to factor trinomials, because these are going to get our solutions of these quadratics. Put a big old star by the zero product property. I know it's got a star by it already. You need to know the zero product property.
Everything is.
I know, but put a big old star by this one. And then underline, guys, the zero product property. Do you know all three of those words?
Yeah.
Zero,
Yep.
product,
Multiplication.
property.
Number.
Something, property means something that's pretty important, you gotta know. Okay? If A times B equals 0. Don't say it out loud, don't say it out loud.
No solution.
There's the, we'd use the zero product property to fix, because 0, it equals 0. Product, we're multiplying A and B together. It's property, it's something you need to know. Who can finish what, then what? What's true about A and or B? Henry.
One of them has to be 0.
One of them has to be 0.
True.
Dang.
Okay.
Or
So here's what you write. Then A equals 0 or B equals 0.
What about what?
Or both equals
Yeah.
Or both of them could be 0, yes.
What happens if
Okay.
both of them?
It could happen. Always put the equation into
Standard form.
Oh
standard
my God, you're so
form. You guys are on fire today. first.
Don't let me take a jumper.
And what is, does anybody think they know what standard form is?
Let's
It's
go.
a-
AX squared plus
y equals
BX
c.
plus
AX squared
No, plus BX.
plus BX plus C.
equals D.
Yeah, that's what they said last grade, D. Does not equal D. Good try though.
I don't know.
Why?
Some
Zero,
AX.
zero, zero, zero.
0. You were a genius, Olson.
Wow.
And Olson, believe it or not, it does equal Y. Too, but we're not there yet. That's in chapter 9.
Oh, wow.
Guys, the standard form is AX squared plus BX plus C equals Y.
I don't think
But-
I like chapter.
It crosses the x-axis when Y is 0, so we replace Y with 0. But also keep that in the back of your mind. You're in great shape. Anyways, the equation always has to equal
Zero.
0 to solve it. If it doesn't, it's your job to move everything over and make it equal 0.
I don't want
Okay? And then after that, you're going to see how the zero product property works. All right. Beginning of your homework is just a little review, and it's very easy. Quinn Libin, read us the directions to example 1.
Factor each trinomial, check by getting FOIL.
Okay. Do we have to solve these?
Yes. No, you have to factor them.
Why do we not have to solve
There's
them?
no equals.
They're not equations. You can't solve it. Okay? And all we're doing is factoring. We get down here, we're going to solve them. So, everybody factor A, B, and C. You guys should be done in about 15 seconds. Go.
So squeezy.
We're doing the easy ones today where A is 1. X and X. Cubon, what are factors of 10 that make 7?
5 and 2,
5 and 2.
10 and 1.
X plus, they're both plus. X plus 2. Box it. Check it. X squared plus 2x plus
Can't figure out B.
5x plus 10. 7x. Don't tell him. Let him think.
Wow.
7x
Got
plus
it.
check.
No, it's negative 8 and 7.
Oh.
You
Oh.
What is that? You bozo.
That was too far.
All right. X and X. And then, what are factors of negative 56 that make negative 1?
Figured it out.
What is it, Kev?
Negative 8 and 7. Or
Or,
Can I do C?
8 negative 7.
no, 8 negative 7 make positive X.
How about I want
It's got to be negative 8 and 7.
Yeah, I know, but
Oh.
I wasn't looking at the middle.
Right. So, pair those up. Rainbow thingy. X
I'll walk you through
minus
something.
8,
Doesn't
X
look like a rainbow.
plus 7. Order does not matter. Of your binomials, minus 8x plus 7x. Minus 56. That makes negative x. Check, it works. Okay. Last one.
I can do this in about 15 seconds.
You guys get good at got good at these. Okay.
Well, when there's no
Sonaro, what are factors of 64 that make negative 16?
I hate when there's a coefficient.
Negative 8, negative 8. Very good.
I know.
Ooh. So what's that thing called? Does anybody remember?
A perfect square trinomial.
Everybody say it.
Perfect square.
Perfect square
Here you
trinomial.
go.
Because it makes a perfect square.
X squared minus 8x minus 8x plus 64 minus 16x. Check. Checks out. Nico, we're just factoring the first 3. Reviewing, it's very easy.
So
Okay.
So,
Now, go to the next one. Albano, read us the directions in example 2, please.
solve each equation, check your solution.
Okay. Do we solve these, Sophia?
yes.
Yeah, they're equations, and the directions say solve. Okay, we solve equations, we factor expressions. Okay, now, do not do FOIL on those.
Oh,
That's all about
I know, that's every last period. That's do not do FOIL on them. We're going to go right to the zero product property.
Alright.
Okay? Because 2 things multiply together. That's what you want to happen. All multiplication that equals 0. That means
Oh, so the first parentheses A and the second parentheses B.
exactly. It's like A times B equals 0.
Oh.
So either x minus 2 has to be 0,
Oh, okay.
or
X plus 4.
x plus 4 has to be 0.
Should we write that down?
Can it be either?
It could be either or it could be both. But one of them has to be 0. That's the only way it's going to make, when we check it, you'll see what we mean, Kevin. Briggs.
Do we have to write that down or something?
No, you don't have to write that down. Yes.
Rick?
Now, there's simple, hey, there's simple one-step equations. You guys will zip through it. You will see, Briggs, you will start skipping some steps, but for right now, let's write them out. So x is 2,
Well, that's not 0.
or, well, watch what happens, smart guy,
Oh, it's
or x equals negative 4. Okay? Watch what happens when we check it. Let's take 2 and plug it in. What's 2 minus 2?
0.
What's 2 plus 4?
6.
What's 0 times 6?
0.
It works. Check negative 4. What's negative 4 minus 2?
Negative 6.
What's negative 4 plus 4?
0.
When you multiply those together, what do you get?
0 equals 0.
Those are the solutions. And we used, what do we use to solve it?
Wait, what?
Go, Briggs,
Oh, I
answer your
thought you were
question.
going to do something else. Yeah.
Wait.
I
How?
thought you were going to actually
We
follow.
just checked our solutions, Aaron.
Oh, you put negative. Okay.
Put negative 4 in there, and it made the second
For the second
binomial
one.
0, and 0 times anything is 0. So it works.
I thought you
Check
put
that.
negative 6.
Say again?
How do you check it?
Take, not at the same time, Nico, one at a time.
Yeah.
Take 2 and plug it into the original problem.
Okay.
What's 2 minus 2?
0.
Okay, thanks. Think hard and long about that one, Nico.
I don't have my calculator.
Right, you didn't have his calculator. That takes a while. He's a little slow, you know what I mean? All right, make 0. What's 2 plus 4?
6.
What's 0 times 6?
0.
So it checks. Now take the other solution, Nico, and check it. What's negative 4 minus 2?
Negative 6.
Negative 6. Let him know what he's doing great. What's negative 4 plus 4?
0.
0. What's negative 6 times 0?
0.
It checks. And you can do it in your head, people. All right, next one. Okay? These are going to be, yeah, they're going to be fractions, and they're going to be two-step equations. But 3x minus 1 equals 0, or 2x plus 7 has to equal 0, because one of them has to equal 0 using the zero product property to make 0 at the end. So let's add 1 and divide by 3. Leave your answer as fractions if it doesn't work out. X could be a third. Or x equals a third is one of the two solutions. And notice, I know that there's going to be two solutions here. You guys will know that in a couple minutes here. Subtract 7.
I know the first one works.
2x equals negative 7. 2.
Half.
Okay. You can either leave it negative 7 halves, or you could write it negative 3.5 like Aaron said. I don't care. I don't care if leaving it proper. Okay, kind of check them. What's 3 times a third?
1.
What's 1 minus 1?
0.
What's 0 times anything?
0.
0. Negative 3.5. What's 2 negative 3.5?
Negative 6.
Negative 7.
Negative 7. What's negative 7 plus 7?
0.
0. 0 times anything?
Wait, so can you plug negative 3.5 for? What if one doesn't work out?
Yeah, but that ain't going to make 0.
Oh, so you have to do them both.
You have to do them both, but I just knew that that was the one that made 0 from because that's the one I solved.
So only one has to be 0.
Right.
So
Because-
we should have to check the other one.
No, they both have to make 0 at one time or another.
Oh.
They
What
both have
if
to
one
make
doesn't
0.
work out? What do we do?
You probably did something wrong in your math, because I think today all of them are going to work out,
Okay.
but that should just tell you did something wrong.
Alright.
Okay? All right, last one. Hey, the first two, there were only two things being multiplied that made 0. A binomial times a binomial. How many things are getting multiplied together on part C? 3. There's 3 solutions here.
It's like A, B, and C now?
It's like A, B, C equals 0, which means any of them could equal 0. So either x equals 0, that one's already solved. That's easy. Okay? Or 4x minus 3 equals 0, or x minus 6 equals 0. Okay, we got 3 of them. The first one is solved. Just box it. And notice if you put 0 in for x, 0 times anything is always 0, so we're good. The other one, add 3 and divide by 4. X equals 3/4. That would make the second piece 0,
Which would mean it's all 0.
which means it's all 0. Add 6. X could be 6. And that would make this last one 0 when you plug it in. There's 3 solutions, 0, 3/4, and 6.
Yippee-doo!
Now, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Anybody smart enough for what we're gonna do next?
We're gonna have x squared in there.
Okay. So what does that
Quadratic.
mean?
To solve quadratics.
We're gonna have trinomials.
Oh my god, I'm a genius.
What do you do?
Solving each quadratic equation.
But how?
Wait for you to tell us. Yay!
Wrong answer. Think for yourselves. You're all smart people.
Wait, we gotta go back to the quadratic.
Guys, you have to factor these to make multiplication. Okay, Briggs gets the A for the day.
Wait, we even finished this one?
Oh,
We're going to factor them. We're going to use the zero product property. Think about if you had that yellow sheet in front of you with the flow chart. What's the first thing it always asks you to do? Come on.
yeah. Is there a common factor? Yes or no?
Hey, GCF. Is there a GCF for letter A?
No.
I think there is.
X.
X.
So we don't look
So
at the
you,
zero?
what I'm saying, guys, is you cannot use the zero product property until you get multiplication. So x times the quantity of x plus 4
So we don't look at the zero?
equals 0. Now we have some multiplication, and we can use our zero product property. Either x equals 0 or x plus 4 equals 0. Subtract 4, subtract 4. X equals 0 or x equals negative 4. Now, let's talk about what that means. And then you guys are going to see it graphically, and it's going to be pretty cool. All right. What was the degree of the original problem? 2. Does everybody agree with that?
Yeah.
How many solutions did we get? 2. The degree is always how many solutions there are. We've mentioned that before. But now, what the bejesus do the solutions mean? Where do they come into play? Again, what would that graph?
A parabola.
Until you make your
It goes through the origin.
There are points
not
on
go-
your parabola.
This one actually does go through the origin, but you got lucky. I don't think you knew anything. Okay? I don't think you're really smart or anything, Ruban.
I am.
Okay, I think it was more luck. But sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Remember that.
Why?
I don't know. Okay, so here's what this means. You're going to see it in a second. That parabola crosses the x-axis at 0 and negative 4.
That's what I was about to say.
Oh,
Open up your Chromebooks.
Oh god.
We don't do this.
So open up your Chromebooks. We're going to start using a graphing calculator today.
no tango.
We need a graphing calculator.
No, there's a graphing calculator on your
Online.
online. All right, everybody Google Desmos.
Desmos,
Oh, it's an S.
Beautiful free math. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just Desmos.
Now,
Should we
does it say
launch-
launch calculator?
Should we
Yeah.
launch
Yeah,
calculator?
click on launch calculator
Oh my god.
and maybe bookmark that page because you're going to use it a lot tonight.
Done.
Okay.
Marked.
All right. Does everybody see a little blue box over to the left side?
yeah.
Okay. To check your solutions, you were going to type in the original equation. What was the original equation?
X squared plus 4x equals 0.
X squared plus 4x. So here's how you type things in.
We have to do this on the.
All right. If you're going to type in x squared, you hit x. And notice, guys, look at x. It does a straight line for us because that's what. It's basically it's y equals x. So x squared. Then you hit your a squared button. It'll put a little squared on your x, and all of a sudden you got yourself a parabola. Okay. Now, I think you might have to hit the tab to get out of the exponent because if you keep typing without hitting the tab, if you keep typing, it just goes with your exponent. It needs to go next to
Oh,
the
that happened to me on the park test.
Yeah.
right plus 4x.
It goes away.
Don't say equals. Just put plus 4x because it's already an equal. Basically, it's
Oh, we don't have to do equals 0?
no. Just type in x squared plus 4x.
We went to the origins because I'm a genius.
And look where does it cross the x-axis, guys?
Wow.
But mine, when I did the plus sign it disappears.
How about that?
Mine looks weird.
Oh my god, it goes on forever. I keep zooming out.
weird.
Whoa.
Keep zooming out.
Why are they so
I know,
mine's
it's
skinny?
How do you zoom out? How do you zoom out?
Just do that.
What? What's yours doing, Nico? Bring it up here.
How do you zoom out?
You zoom way out.
Yeah, it's just a straight
Why
line.
is it-
then.
Oh yeah, you gotta zoom back
Mine
in.
were losing weight.
Is mine losing out?
I'm zooming way. Oh my.
Yeah, don't zoom way out, guys.
Rather than zooming way out.
Where does yours cross the y-axis,
I
Nico?
already zoomed.
Oh my
I
god.
think
Not
mine
the
worked.
y-axis, the x-axis.
I don't think mine worked.
Hey, 0 and -4. And actually, guys, you can put your cursor anywhere on this parabola and see the points that are on this parabola.
Mine doesn't go up. Mine's
Okay. Look, goes through the origin, and it goes through -4, 4. Now,
Broke it.
look down at the very bottom where the parabola makes the turn. That's called its vertex. -2, -4 is the vertex. That will come into play eventually. So, but what we're looking for is where the parabola crosses the x-axis at 0 and -4, and that was the solutions. Okay?
Wow.
Back to the next one.
It was
Back to your notes.
No, 0 and -4 was the solution.
Right.
So you said -2, -4.
Oh, that's the vertex.
Oh.
Which you don't know anything about yet. Don't worry about it. All right. Factor that one.
Oh, there's no GCF.
No GCF. Go right to factoring. Guess and check.
I hate that.
Oh, okay. I see.
X and X. Ooh, what are factors of 15 that make 8? 3 and 5, very good. Or 5 and 3. The order does not matter. So it's X plus 3
Oh.
times X plus 5 equals 0. Okay? And then maybe here's what Briggs is talking about. X plus 3 equals 0, or X plus 5 equals 0. X is -3 or -5. So if we graph this one, it better cross the x-axis at -3 and -5. Let's see if it does.
You betcha.
X squared, back to Desmos. X squared plus 8x plus 15.
These
You hit the X button, it goes away. So, X squared
X squared just makes a parabola because the
Plus-
vertex
oops.
is at the origin. X squared is a parabola where the vertex is at the origin.
right.
-3, 0, -5.
Look.
-4, -1.
Look where it crosses the x-axis. At -3 and -5. Ooh, I wonder what the vertex is. Wonder how I can get those numbers away from out of this equation. Yep, what I know the vertex. That's good. So, just checking it, guys. Notice it crosses the x-axis at -3 and -5. Boom! That's what it should have done. Okay? All right.
Hold on, I want to change x squared to x cubed.
Don't do it yet. We're gonna do that one on D.
Oh, but I want to see the squiggly.
Don't do it yet. All right. I'll show you. Good question, Nico.
I did it.
Here you go. I'm sure it wouldn't take you long to figure it out. All right, let's do this.
It's huge.
X and X.
It zoomed so far out.
X and X. Hey, back to the next one. Don't be a knucklehead. Who got factors of -27 that make 6?
What did Alex say?
Negative.
I think I broke it.
Yeah, 9 and -3. Very good, Sean. X minus 3. X plus 9 equals 0. That means X is going to be 3 or -9. Solving both of them for 0.
Well, shouldn't it only be one or?
What do you mean?
Let's. Well,
Remember, guys, how do we tell how many solutions there are?
well, it says X is 3 or -9. Well, shouldn't we find which one it is?
I don't know what you're talking about, dude.
Never mind. It's really
Guys, we talked about this already. How do we know there's going to be 2 solutions?
I know.
Because there's
Wait, so we have to use this
The
one?
degree. Have we not talked about that yet today?
yeah, we did.
Yeah, we
Okay,
did.
the degree is how many solutions there are. The solutions are where the parabola crosses the x-axis. check that one in there. Make sure it's 3 and negative 9. You type it in. We need to get through this. So
Is Desmos
What?
just to check our answers?
yeah, Desmos is just to check your answers to make sure it's crossing the x-axis at the solutions that you get, Kevin. Okay.
I don't like this.
Now let's do our x cubed one, which Kevin was foreshadowing about. What's wrong with D?
Doesn't equal
What
doesn't equal zero.
doesn't equal 0? What could you do to both sides to make it equal 0?
Well, that,
You see,
subtract by 45.
So
Yeah.
everybody subtract. Nico and everybody else playing on your computer, focus right now. Subtract 45x from both sides.
And what do we write equals 0 again?
And then you write x equals 0 on the right hand
We
side.
have a GCF. Let's go.
3x cubed plus 6x squared minus 45x equals 0. What is the GCF, Cubine?
3.
Yeah.
3x.
3x, very good. A 3 comes out as well. It'll make your number smaller. X squared plus 2x minus 15 equals 0. Divide each piece by 3x, the GCF. That thing still counts. Now, factor your trinomial.
Oh, we have a huge
What are factors of negative 15 that make 2?
Oh, that's
Negative 5,
Five and negative 5, or 5 and negative.
5 and negative.
5 and negative 3. The 5 has to be positive because the middle term is positive. So it's x plus 5 times x minus 3. Don't forget your 3x in front. So any of these could be 0. 3x could be 0. X plus 5 could be 0. Or x minus 3 could be 0.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be
Okay, divide both sides by 3. What's 0 divided by 3?
0.
Yeah, it's just x equals 0. So our solutions are 0, negative 5, and positive 3.
Oh, yeah.
And at the beginning, I should have mentioned this a long time ago. How many solutions are there to this thing? Why are there 3 solutions?
Because there's the degree is 3.
Because
Highest
what
degree.
the degree?
The degree is 3. Now, watch what happens when you plug this into your Desmos.
It makes a really big squeak.
Okay?
Oh my god.
And it's got to be equal 0, I think, on when you type it in.
What's the answer?
Does the line go out for infinity?
Yes.
I'm gonna check it.
All right. 3x. Now, here's.
You have to just do it and erase it.
It's 3x cubed.
I know. I'm gonna. So you gotta backspace it and type in a 3.
Or you can just hit the
How does the line go out?
A.
Oh, yeah, and the a to the b. I know. That's how we did it last period. Yeah, the a to the b thing works.
No, the line doesn't go out for
Plus, what's the middle term, guys?
6x
6x
squared.
squared.
6x squared. Plus
Or minus 45.
minus 45x. You got to go with the original. Ooh, look at that. Guys, where does it cross the y-axis or the x-axis? Negative 5,
Mine doesn't even
0, and 3. If you scroll out a little bit, you can see
show.
it a
Mine
little
does
better.
not do that.
Oh my god.
It's really tall. It goes all the way up to 100 and something.
Is it
Oh, it goes up.
online?
Is it called an extreme? I'm trying to think what the.
It's
I think I
really,
did it wrong
really
now.
thin.
It goes up like 50,000.
Oh, no, it goes to infinity.
It's really, really thin.
I already tested it. It does go on for infinity.
So,
Is there an
Maybe.
infinity sign?
Mine doesn't even work.
No, it just like keeps going.
I'm at
And then eventually
Alright.
you can't zoom out anymore.
let's get a couple more done. On E, go back to E, subtract 70 from both sides, make sure you make it equal to 0.
First page is this way. Just looks like a line.
Yeah, but you don't see where it turns. Line's not too thick. Okay. So z squared minus 3z minus 70 equals 0. What are factors of negative 70?
Negative 10 and 7.
Negative 10 and 7.
You get to Aaron.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Z minus 10 times z plus 7 equals 0. That means the solutions are 10 or negative 7. Graph it, you probably get that. 10 and negative 7, and you're good to go. The next one is a cubic. Okay, it's going to graph that thingy when on F.
It would
Again,
have to be negative 10 plus 7.
x cubed minus x squared minus 20x equals 0. Subtract x squared from both sides, subtract the 20. Let's see, factor out an x first. That's the only GCF. X squared minus x minus 20 equals 0. X times. What are factors of negative 20 that make negative 1?
Oh, yeah,
Negative 5 and 4. Okay, so it's going to be x minus 5 times x plus 4 equals 0, which means x equals 0 or 5 or negative 4. And if you graphed it, I'm sure it would cross the x-axis at those values. Okay? So, zero product property, huge today. Something brand new.
We get out of the
Okay? You use your notes, guys, to your advantage when you guys are doing your homework. All right, everybody say goodbye.
Bye.